Hi there. In this tutorial, we're going to look about Oracle Data Integrator, exactly flat file to table, how to transform or how to load a file. There is a raw file, a text file, and any type of raw material flat file to a table, right? Using Oracle Data Integrator 12c. Before we start, I want to point out that make sure you watch the previous video about installation, how you install this, because I'm going to continue, so I don't want to like say things again and again. Just watch the previous video before you do this, because if you didn't, you're going to get lost. All right. Also, I want to point out that you will find all the resources or the files that I'm using in this tutorial in the description below. All right. There's a link to Google Drive that you can download everything if you want to follow with me or you want to do the exact same example. All right. What are we going to do in this session? First of all, we try to understand the concept of this, how transforming or loading a file to Oracle database, the concept, what we're going to do, look at, and the second thing we're going to do a quick example, which is going to be live. All right, so let's look at this. So the goal of this tutorial is loading a flat file, which is a flat file is a text or a CSV into a relational table. In our case, it's an Oracle database. It could be MySQL, it could be any other relational database, but in our case, it's going to be an Oracle database. So imagine this is the flat file. It's a text, all right, called continents. It's a flat file. It has three attributes: abbreviation and name and length, which is the surface of the land in kilometers. And we want this flat file, we wanted to transform it to put it into the database. So if I go to Oracle database and I did select all from, for example, this user is, or this file, this user continent, I want to find the file. So the whole concept of this is transforming this file and loading it right into the database. All right, so it looks easy, but in ODI, what are you going to do? Let me explain this to you. So this is the source flat file. This file, flat file here, continent.txt is this source flat file. So there's two things. There's a source, which is this file, flat file, and there's the target, which is the database. So for the source, you have to do three things always. You have to do a physical schema, and then create a logical schema, and then model. Model is basically storing that file into model. But before using model, you need a logical schema. And before using a logical schema, you need a physical schema. So these things goes by order, all right? And you do the same thing for target. Target is a table, is this table that we call continent, because we want the information, the data that is in the text, continent.txt, we want to put it in the database continent. You understand? So the target, it will go the same way. We need a physical schema, creating a logical schema, and a model. The model here would be the table, and the model here in the source will be the file. And then we do the mapping. Mapping is basically putting this and this, like making equal between them, like source equal target. So the data will be transformed from there. And then you do execution. So like this, what we're going to do. All right? I hope you understand that. Let me clarify something very important. You can't use this without, I'm going to include this file called flat file to table version 2 officially from Oracle. It's very important. It's very important you have this file and follow the instruction, because you simply can't remember everything. But we're going to do a live example, understand. So this is the file. You're going to find this file in the description below. Without this file, you won't able to do anything. It's because it's long. Only if you can remember everything. But let's do this. So let's go back to our system. Remember this we did this in the previous video, installation. So this is it. So the first thing we do, we have to open Oracle Data Integrator and you sign in. You know, with the information. We did this in the previous video. Please watch the previous video. Once you do that, so the first thing we have to do, we're always going to come back here. So the first thing we do is to prepare the file. This file, we need to prepare it before we do anything. So you have to follow me. This is the steps. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, 4, 5, etc. So you have to do this way. We're going to do this way. So the first thing we should do, I already have the file here, all right? But I want to make it a new one. So I'm gonna copy this file here. I'm gonna copy it. It's like I'm going to do this again twice, so you can see it live. All right, I'm going to do. I paste it here. It's gonna create. So let's rename this something like, like I don't know. Let's call it Idris. It's your name, Idris. Okay. Click this. So this file. I'm gonna create also a folder called Idris as well. I'm gonna take this and I put it this. So this is our file. This is what we're going to use. This is the file I'm going to use. We're going to work with this. But just a note before you start, let's go to terminal. This is very important. I'm going to desktop and going to the folder called Idris, and I'm going to open the file called idris.txt. Okay, it looks that the file doesn't exist. I think I did something wrong here. Idris.txt. Okay, I have to do it again. Give me a second. So I am going to go to the desktop, and there is a folder called Idris. ls. Yeah, there's a folder, and I'm going to open that folder. .txt with vi. There you go. I opened this folder. Just make sure that it's DOS compatible. Okay, that's very important. I'm gonna include this file in the description if you want to use it as well. It is as well file made for it. Don't worry about that. So this is our folder that we're going to use. It inside it is a folder text. Okay, so we open data integrator. So remember that. Let me put this close here. And we created this flat file now with the source. Now we have to go to source and create the physical schema, logical schema, model schema. All right. So you have to follow this. This is the first step: preparing the file and connecting to the file. We created the file here. We make sure it's a DOS compatible. Now we create a physical schema for the source. Remember, always remember this. We're right here now. We have to create a physical schema, logical schema model for the source. The source is the file. All right. So go to topology, go to physical schema. This is the logical schema. Go to physical schema, and we're dealing with a file. You know, this is the source is a file. So go to the file. Before you go to the file, you have to open it. I'm gonna create something. I already created this YouTube just to make sure clear for you, but you can create anything you want. So I'm gonna create this here. Idris. All right, Idris, right there. Code file. You can just do this. I'm just gonna keep it because I created this for YouTube before. I don't know if this is gonna make sense or not, but anyway, we created this one called Idris file, right? And once you do that, you just click save, and you got this this file here. Is all right. So I created this YouTube for the sake of simplicity. So go here and create a new physical schema. Okay, this is, you can call this anything you want. All right, and call it this. Okay, this is physical schema is basically where you're gonna store your data. Remember, we put everything in this folder called Idris. I just want to tell you that it's important. So you have to put this there. I'm just gonna come back here. Always remember, you can do this file. You'll follow this instructor here the way it was. So I think I already have like one before just to remember it, but yeah, I'm just gonna copy that, go back to our directory here. So I can close this now. No. So I paste it. So the folder we use is called Idris, like that. It's a folder. And same way. Idris. So there you go. I made it. and I click save. And there you go. We made it right here. It's this one. Once you create this one, once you create this one, it's fine. You always follow the instruction. Remember, you always follow the instruction. Once you open it, generic file. Oh, I didn't test the connection first. Yeah, I did the connection. Before that, you have to do this. You have to make sure the connection works. Uh, in my example, it's a local host because you're using the same machine. The user is Oracle and the password is also Oracle. You can just test the connection. You have to do this before, but this connection is successful, so it's fine. So I created the physical schema now. Once the physical schema is created, new physical schema. And now we can create new physical schema in that file. We created the physical schema, and once the physical, this is the file, we made it here, the physical schema, and now we can create a logical schema. Same way, go to logical schema, go to logical, where this is the file we made it before, remember that? This is the file we made before, which is we call the erase right here. That's why we make it simpler. So it's a logical schema. Also, we're dealing with a file, so we have to search for a file. And we create a non-logical schema. Defining source topology logical architecture. Logical architecture, file, technologies, new logical schema, file. Where is the file? And new logical schema. Because you created that there? Yeah, you go to new logical schema now. You call it whatever you want. They call it here my flat file, and just call it Edris file, whatever. And then you do save that. Give it some time. It's gonna be there right away. You notice that I'm always like, yeah, I did not connect it with the physical schema. Every single time you create a logical schema, you have to connect it to physical schema, which is we created here. Make sure that's important. And there you go. I create now logical schema. I connect the logical schema with the physical schema, and it's right here. Okay. Once the logical schema is created, now remember that. Now we're right here. We created the physical schema, we created the logical schema, now we can create the model. The model hosts the file. The information here is going to go to the model, but the model wouldn't work without a logical or physical schema. So now we created a physical schema, we created a physical schema, and we create a logical schema. Now we go to designer, and we go to model. I'm gonna create a new folder just to make things clear, separation. This is not necessary, but for the sake of simplicity, and here's the folder I created here, and in this folder I can create a new model. Model basically hosts the data. All right, you can always follow it with this guide. I'm gonna call the model it is HR. What technology are you using? You're using I created that new model. You always follow in file. The technology, I changed the file name from Idris, so Idris means file, and it took the logical scheme. The logical scheme of Idris called Idris file, and once you do all that thing, you can create new data store. And you can have to save this, of course. Okay. Once you do all that, then you can create save. You always have to. Once you do this, I created a place where to store the data, the flat file here. And once you do that, you did new data store. I can do new data store, which is where we replace the file. The name, the file, continent with S. So I'm gonna call it. Now we call it. What would we? I don't forgot what we call the name. We call it Idris.txt. Okay, we call it Idris.txt. Okay. We're gonna call it Idris as well. The air table, you always follow with this guy. It's very important. And you define where it is. Where is the file now? It's in the desktop. There is a folder called Idris and then Idris text. And we click it. This is like basically we're taking the data from the file and put it inside the ODI. The ODI put it in Oracle as well. Once that made, as you can see, I'm following. You have to go to files. This file format is fixed, and the first line is a header. How you know this? Because if I open the file, the first line is a header file. Okay, it's not numbers and stuff. Once we do that, so the first line is 1. Basically on WHLM, the first line don't include the first line. It's a DOS, remember, DOS compatible, and the separator is tab. Once that's done, reverse engineering. Where are you reverse engineering? Yeah, I have to go to attributes and wait, I did something wrong. Format fixed, hidden. I guess I have to save things before we move files. And then choose record MS-DOS. The next on attribute, click reverse engineering. I have to save everything. Definition, table, text, files, fixed one, tab thing, attributes, reverse engineering. Okay, you do reverse engineer. There you go. The data that was in the file now it transformed right here. Now there's a trick you have to do. You have to, because the data when you transform it here, it transformed raw. Means that you don't really know what to do with it. So to do it, you have to click, and then click, and C1 is abbreviation, which is ABBR. But inside it, the type of it is a string. So you just put string there. And then you take the second part from right here back right here, and that thing is the name of the country, the continent, the name of the continent. Sorry for that. And then it's a string. You can just select that and choose string if you want. There you go. Okay, and after that you can just take this out. Okay, no, I did something wrong with this. You have to click on take this out from here. This is supposed to be right here. No. Sorry for that. You got just right here. So this is a name. It's supposed to be a name. No. The name is cups. There you go. This is the name. And I'm gonna take it. Oh God. This is difficult a little bit. Just give me a second here. From here to here. This is a name. Okay. Okay. There you go. I'm gonna take something from here. No, this is a name. And the third thing is area in kilometers, and it's a numeric. There you go. And then click OK, and there you go. See, name, area, kilometers. It's all made fine. And you must save your changes. So I'll save. As you can see, I followed the instructor exactly the way they are. I saved the instructors. Click save. Once that's done, click save. Yes. We're here. Go down. Right here. We finish this part. Click OK. We have these things. You click save. And then we got the file. I already click save, and the file is right here. I click view data, and there you go. Everything's right here, like in the table. You remember the first time? This is the first time it was a text. Now it's like inside the ODI, which is inside the Oracle as a table, as you can see right there. We made it. We made it. We created the first step. Now we are right here. We finished the source. We create the physical schema, logical schema, and we put this entire file into the model. We finished the first part. Now we're going to create a target. Alrighty? Good. So once we do that, now we create it's created now. Well, before we started, remember, we are taking this file and putting in table, so we have to create this table. All right, so what you have to do is to log into your Oracle. We can create SQL, but wait a minute. SQL plus, I'm gonna log in as a system DBA, and then create it. And once you do that, you want to create a user. Create a user called HR, identified by HR account and log. The user will name HR, and the password will be HR. I already created the user, so it's fine. I can just go and say connect HR. I connected with HR. And once you do that, you need to give this user all the permissions, connect, resource, etc., and then you can exist. And you reconnect again, and after that you have to create a table inside empty table, because remember, we want to put this inside here. So this here initially is empty, so we want to create an empty table called continent to put data inside it. But I already did this before, so I'm going to show you. This is supposed to be empty. You have to run this create table as continent, etc. Once create from hr.continent, this should be, it should be empty. The first time you created this, it should be empty like this. Okay, it should be empty. It should not be this, because I did this before, that's why it's full, but it should be empty originally. Okay, what's done? We created a table empty. Now we have to create a physical schema, logical schema, model before mapping and execution. All right, let's go create a physical schema. Let's go back to this. So exact same thing, we go to always follow with this. We create a new this. You create a physical schema. Wait, give me a second, please. Let's go create a physical schema. All right. Go to topology again. Give me a 1 minute, please. Physical schema. Go to physical schema and click. Okay. The first time we're using a file, which is it's supposed to be a file. Don't worry about it. It's supposed to be a file. Now we're dealing with Oracle, because we want to transfer that file to Oracle, so we're dealing with Oracle. All right. What we want to do, new data server, just create an Oracle and create new data server. That's it. What are you gonna call the data server? I'm just gonna call it Idris HR. There you go. The instance in my case Oracle, you find all the information right here in the desktop. If you install this VM, you're gonna find all the information right here. Okay, you can see that in the previous video. So in our case is Oracle ORCL, which is right here, and we created a user called HR with the password HR. You can test the connection. Okay, before test the connection, you have to make sure the driver is right there, and remember the host. We installed this in a local machine, so it's a local host, and the port. I think the port is actually the port is actually the port is 1521, so 1521, and the service name is, I don't remember the service name is ORCL. To make sure that everything's working, just test the connection. Please register, test, successful connection. So we make a successful connection. Once that's done, once we make a successful connection, now we can create a physical schema. We create Idris HR here, right there. New physical schema. We'll keep the same name. It's not a big deal. And like what is that? It's like, where are you gonna put the stuff? I absolutely forgot. Well, this is horrible. This is very strange. Create a physical schema. Where are you gonna put the physical schema? I don't know. in HR. Remember that? HR we created before. Remember that? The user. That's the user we created before. I remember that. I keep forgetting about that. And then you click, then you click what? Then you click save. And you have to follow the instruction. Oh, do it always follow the instruction, my friend. He's doing something in the background. I don't know what is this. And once you finish with physical schema, we'll create a logical schema. Remember, always. Now we're here, created a physical schema. Now we have to create a logical schema. Go back to logical schema. Right there, we are dealing with Oracle. Go back to Oracle. And remember, new logical schema. Right there in the Oracle, new logical schema. Now, what are you going to call the logical schema? I'm just called Idris HR as well. Remember to connect always the logical schema with the physical schema, which is right here. Because it's a logical and a physical. You should be connected, else something's going to go wrong, obviously. Always save, always go. I'm going to give you this file. Follow the file, you'll be alright. And you're going to find this created called Idris HR. Right? There you go. That wasn't bad. Now we can create a target as well. We can the model, the design model, and you go to the designer, and I just remember we created this before, so I'm gonna put it exact place just for the sake of simplicity. A new model. Basically, this is where the data being hosted, which is in our case is the table, right? Remember that it's the table. I'm just gonna call it Idris as well. SR as well. Remember technology, we're dealing with Oracle. And remember the logical schema that you created is called SR, and go to reverse engineering or standard global table. Once that's all done, and it's all done, click reverse engineering. Click reverse engineering. Yes, wait a minute. It's gonna import all the tables that are inside with related to the user HR. Now, there you go. We made it right here. There you go, we made it right exactly here. Wait, you always follow. And you're gonna find the table content. We created in the table, remember that before? So if you just go, if you go there. I'm recording a video, stop! If you go this, address, if you go to address, I don't know where I put that thing. Address HR, remember that? I already put the file somewhere else. I just this is all about continent. Now this is the start point. I don't remember where I stored the file because the same file that we created before, which is here it is. Address HR. Here is the continent. This is the table that we created in the database. Remember that? That's what it is. Now we can view data. Yeah, also view data right there. This is the table. It should be empty because the table continent in my database is full, but it should be empty for you. It should be like this. It should be empty for you like this one. Okay, now remember, now we're right here. We created the source, which is the physical schema, logical schema model. I'm recording a video. Stop. And then a model there. Sorry for that. Somebody's bothering me. It's crazy. So the file is right here in the model, and the table is right here empty. The file is full. The folder is empty. So I'm gonna stop doing this. So once that, then create a designer project. So once that's done, now we can create a project. Go to projects. I'm gonna create a new project called Idris. Okay, just click save. The project will be made here, right there. Idris. And then you go to the first folder and you go to mapping, and in mapping you can create new mapping. So this is, I'm gonna connect now the table, the file with the table, so you go there. I'm just gonna call this there. Create empty data set, of course, because you want to empty. Now remember, I have a file and I have a table. I have a file that is full. The file that is full is right here. It is the file. I'm just gonna hold it and drag it here. That's the file. Remember the file? And I'm just gonna create the target, which is a table that is in the database that is empty. I'm going to say, so is this the table that I want? I'm gonna put it here. See that? I'm just gonna take this file, I'm just gonna connect them. There you go. He's telling you like how you're supposed to connect them in a coordination by name. You see, okay? So this one is goes right this one, and this one goes right this one, and this one is go right this one. So basically what I'm doing here is like the abbreviation, this is the file and this is the table. The file is full, the table is empty, all the information is here, is gonna move right here, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, that's good. Once it's done, that's it. Now we're right here. We just did the mapping. Now we have to do the execution, and you notice that it's there. You can go basically to, once that's done, you can go to project mapping. You will find it. You can save everything, of course. Go to the mapping. You're gonna find the file, the mapping, and you can do run. This is the last step. Click OK. Give it some time. Now it's running. Now he's basically moving the data from the file back to the database. Right now, if you go back, let's open the terminal back again. Let's connect SQL plus Oz sysdba. Let's connect with HR, and let's select all from hr.continent. There you go. All the information that was in the file, all the information that was right here, all the information that was in this text, okay? All the information is text. Now it moves to the database. And that's it. Thank you so much. Sorry if this video is so long. I didn't know how to do it. But trust me, all you have to do is to follow this guide and you will be fine. Thank you. Bye-bye.